Good morning, I'm John Ellsworth, founder of Success Strategies Incorporated and the creator of the Success Strategies Advantage software. I want to thank you for listening today. Today's presentation I've entitled, How Can I Decide? The art of decision making. I see people struggle with this so much, but I think really the two primary reasons I see people taking this as a challenge, decision making, number one is there's so much information out there. In fact, we call it TMI, too much information in our office sometimes. Too much information is one big obstacle to making decisions. And number two, we're afraid of making a mistake. Oh my, I made a mistake. Good heavens, welcome to the human race. This is something we all do. But as a result, I think people get overwhelmed and they hold off on making decisions. Let me give you one solid reason why you need to make a decision today. And that's this. You have 9 to 10 more of these to make yet today. You cannot delay the one you're making right now. Don't delay. Number one, here's 6 steps for you. Number one, determine your objective. Where do you want to get to? What do you want to do? Number two, identify all the challenges. And our brains are really good at this. We can always find obstacles to everything, right? So identify the challenges. Identify as many as possible. As many as you can think of. Number three, decide, how do I overcome these obstacles? Number four, because there is a way. Number four, best and worst outcomes with each of these decisions. And can I live with those? Can I live with those outcomes? If so, you have no reason not to make a decision. You're only hurting yourself by delaying or deferring. Number five, choose the best option available to you. And none of them are going to be perfect. There are going to be downsides to everything, of course. So minimize the downside, maximize the upside of each one, those best and worst outcomes we talked about. And then step number 6, pull the trigger. Make the decision. Nobody gets them all correct. I do not. There's nobody I know in the whole world that gets every decision correct. And there are side effects of decisions we make too. Sometimes unintended consequences, as I mentioned in my last video. Anyway, pull the trigger. Remember, nobody gets them all correct. But deferring them to another day, there are often other problems associated with the delay. Let me give you a good example. I had a client recently who expanded their operation, built a new freestall barn, and as a result, they needed more cows. They were already approved for it, for the purchase of these cows, but 6 months ago, the price of those cows, or 2-year-old springers, whatever you wanted to add to the milking herd, were about $2,000 a piece. And my client looked at that and said, wow, last year they were only $1,500 a piece. I think I'll wait, they'll come back down. Well, now they're $3,000 to $3,500 a piece, and might I add, if and only if you can find them. He could have bought them at $2,000, but decided he delayed. He deferred the decision to buy. He could have bought them for $2,000. He could have sold the calves out of those for $600 and been at a $1,400 net price, less than half of what he would be paying today. With $22 to $23 milk now per hundredweight, that would have been a pretty awesome position to be in. He's a little bit short of milk right now, but you can understand why. This is just one simple example why we cannot delay decisions. So how do you decide? Number one, you look at your goal, you consider all the challenges, look at the positive and negatives potentially of each outcome, choose the best option, as I said earlier, based on your research, and don't kill it with the research, but do the best you can and to not delay. And never, ever just base it on a neighbor's opinion. I hear about that all the time, or my brother-in-law's opinion, or what, it's just crazy. Why do that? And then finally, make the choice, pull the trigger. Pull the trigger. So what I'm saying is, have a plan in mind, study the various options, and then make it happen. Because remember, there were no statues that were ever built for someone who didn't take action. And I will ask you one final question. What's the next step for you? What is the next step for you in your operation? And I'll leave you with this quote from Steve Jobs, co-founder of Apple. He said, "Let's go invent tomorrow rather than worrying about what happened yesterday." End of quote. I want to thank you for listening today. Again, I'm John Ellsworth, founder of Success Strategies Incorporated and the creator of the Success Strategies Advantage, and I want to thank you very much.